السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. أبنائنا وبناتنا الطلبة، نرحب بكم في حلقة جديدة من برنامجكم درس على الهواء. اليوم راح نعرض إن شاء الله لكم مادة اللغة الإنجليزية للصف السادس. Dear students, welcome all to a new lesson of our curriculum of grade 6, and today we are going to explain and show or start with the first and the fourth unit of the curriculum, and it is the second semester. Okay, so welcome all to a new lesson of your curriculum of the second semester, and today we are going to start with unit 4, and as you can see, unit 4 is about great explorers. So in this unit we are going to learn, to understand, to read and to listen to different texts, or to read different texts about great explorers around the whole world. Okay, so let's start with the goal and objective of this lesson. So by the end of this lesson you will be able to 1. Read for general understanding and specific information. As we said, so we are going to read different texts about different people, and these people are great explorers around the world. And 2. Listen and understand some information about explorers. So we are going to practice also listening today. So we are going to practice reading, and then we are going to practice listening at the same time. And let's start this lesson together. Okay. So, please and kindly open your class book, page 32, activity 1. Open your class book, page 32, activity 1. And in your class book, page 32, you will find these instructions, these questions, and this email. Okay. As you can see here, look at these 7 questions, and here, as he said, 7 questions. But here we have only 4 questions. After we answer them, we are going to go to the third questions. Okay? Now, read the first 4 questions before you read the email. Now, read the email and try and find the answers. Okay? And try and find the answers. So we are going to read the question first, then we're going to read the email. Question 1. Who is the email to? Okay, question 2. What is Paul doing in school now? Now. Okay, question 3. What information does he want? So we are looking for information. Question 4. What was Paul doing last night? And it is a specific time. It is last night. So we need to know what he was doing last night. Okay? After you read the question, then you are going to read the email. After you read the question, then you are going to read the email. Okay. Let's start reading the email together. Here we have dear. As you know, it's a formal when we write an email to a friend or to someone, we start it with dear. But the question 1, who is the email to? As you can see here, it is an easy question. It's supposed to be an easy question to be answered. Now here to, and here from. Okay, so here to. So he is the who is the email to? Now here to, it is to Ahmed. So this is answer 1. Okay. So this answer is the answer for question 1. Who is the email to? The email is to Ahmed. The email is to, as you can see here, is to. And who is the email from? For example, if you find another question, who is the email from? You can see here, it's from. So it is from Paul. If you find this question, who is the email from? The answer should be from Paul. Okay? Now we have question 1, and we answered question 1 already. It is to Ahmed. Okay, let's now focus before reading at question 2. What is Paul doing in school now? Okay, let's start reading together from, we started from dear. Okay, dear Ahmed, how are you? Have you had any more exciting adventures since your trip to the desert with David and your brother? At the moment, I am doing a project in school about great explorers. Okay, now as you can see here, at the moment, okay, it indicates the present time. Okay, it indicates the present time. And when we are talking about the present time, we are talking about now. Okay? When we are saying at the moment, we indicate the present time. And when we indicate the present time, we are using now. So after this sentence, we're supposed to have the answer to the question 2. The question 2, okay? So at the moment, like saying now, like saying like this, at the moment, I am doing a project in school about great explorers. So what is Paul doing in school now? What is Paul doing in school now? He's doing, okay, a project in school about great explorers. Okay, this is supposed to be the answer to question 2. The answer to question 2. Because as we said, at the moment indicate the present time. Okay, let's continue reading from here. It is really interesting. It is really interesting. Have you got any information? Now, here is the word information. And remember, when we talk about question 3, we looked for the word information. So, what information does he want? And who is he? Paul. Okay? Now, what information does he want? As you can see here, have you got any information about explorers? Okay? So he wants information about explorers. So this is the answer to question 3. Okay? Have you got, as you can see, have you got any information about explorers you could send to help me with my project? So he needs help with his project and he needed information. And the information was about explorers, as you can see. Now we left with question 4, as you can see here. What was Paul doing last night? What was Paul doing last night? Okay, last night. This is a keywords. Let's read together. Okay, we will start from here. It is funny, but yesterday, while I was doing my homework, now, here we have yesterday. Now, yesterday indicate what? Very good. Very good, Salim. It indicates the past. Okay? Yesterday indicate the past. Now here we have also last night here. Okay? We have last night. Asma, last night, is it present, future, or past? What do you think? Very good, Asma. It is the past. Okay? So here last night indicate the past, as you can see. And here yesterday indicate what? As we said, indicate the past. Okay? Very good. Now yesterday means yesterday. And last night means last night. So both of them are in the past. That means the answer to question 4 is supposed to be here. What was Paul doing last night? Okay, it's funny, but yesterday while I was doing my homework, okay, doing my homework, a television program came on all about explorers. So what was Paul doing last night? He was doing his homework. Okay, so this is supposed to be the answer to question 4. Okay, the answer to question 4, doing his homework. What was Paul doing last night? He was doing his homework. Okay, let's continue reading from here. A television program came on all about explorers. My mom recorded it for me. I am going to watch it this afternoon to see if it has any useful information in it. Next week, I am going to watch my favorite football team, Manchester United, playing in London. I hope they win. If you have got any information about explorers that you could send me, that would be great. Thanks for your help. Bye for now, Paul. Okay, so this is the email from Paul to Ahmed. Now, let's look at the 3 questions that we are left with. So we answered, okay, we answered the 4 questions here. This is question 1, and this is question 2. This is the answer to question 2. This is the answer to question 3, and this is the answer to question 4. Now, we are left with 3 more questions below the email. Let's look at them together. Okay. Now, look at these questions. Okay. Let's look at the questions together. Okay, we have question 5, 6, and 7. These are the 3 questions that we are left with. Question 5. What happened while Paul was doing his homework? What happened while Paul was doing his homework? Question 6. When is Paul going to watch the television program? Okay, when is Paul going to watch the television program? Okay, this is question 6. Let's go to question 7. Question 7. What is Paul going to do next week? Okay, what is Paul going to do next week? Okay, now we need to find the answers to these 3 questions. Let's look first at question 5. What happened while Paul was doing his homework? Doing his homework. Okay, these are keywords. When you read the questions of any reading text, okay, you need to find the keywords in each question, because the keywords will ultimately lead you to the answer. Okay, so here, doing his homework, keywords. So let's look at the keywords in the text. If you look here, doing my homework, and here we have the word while. Okay, while at the same time I was doing my homework, something happened. Okay, this is what while indicate. When I was doing my homework, there's something happening. Okay, what happened? We need to find what happened. While I was doing my homework, a television program came on, all about explorers. So this is what happened. Okay, so Paul was doing his homework. When he was doing his homework, a television program came on the TV. It's all about explorers. So this is the answer to question 5. Okay, this is the answer to question 5. A television program came on all about explorers. Okay, let's move to question 6. Now, in question 6, when is Paul going to watch the television program? When? Okay, when we are using when, that means we indicate or we need what? Yes, very good, Ahmed. We need time. Well done, Ahmed. We need time. When we ask when, or the question starts with the word when, that means we are looking for a time. Is it an hour? Is it a day? Is it a week? Is it a month, a year, a date? We don't know. But what we know is that we are looking for a time. Okay? So when is Paul going to watch the television program? Let's continue reading, or let's go back to the text. Okay, television program came on all about explorers. My mom recorded it for me. Okay, I am going to watch it this afternoon. Okay, as you can see here, this afternoon indicates what? Exactly. Well done, Saha. It indicates the time. It indicates the time. Okay, it is in the afternoon. To see if it has any useful information in it. So this afternoon is the answer to question 6. Okay, this afternoon is the answer to question 6. Okay, let's move on to question 7. Now, in question 7, what is Paul going to do next week? What are the key words in this question? If you look at the question, you will find next week. Okay, so next week are keywords in the question. So we need to look at the text and we need to search for the keywords. Now, if you look at the text here, okay, here, you can see next week. Okay, it's the same. They took it from here and they put it here. Okay, next week. When you read the question, always do that. Look for the keywords in the question. So, next week, I am going to watch my favorite football team. What is Paul going to do next week? Paul, next week, is going to watch his favorite football team. Okay? He's going to watch his favorite football team, and it was Manchester United, as you can see here in the text. So this is the answer to question 7. Okay, going to watch his, we cannot say my, because you will be talking about yourself, and then you will say his. So he's going to watch his favorite football team, and it was Manchester United. Okay, as we said, always look for the keywords in the questions, and it will be easy for you to find the answers in the text. So these are the answers to the questions that you have for the first activity that we had today. Okay, let's move on to the next activity. Now, I want you to open your class book, page 33, activity 2 to 3. Okay, so we're going to take 2 activities together, so activity 2 and activity 3 in your class book, page 33. Okay, if you look at your class book, page 33, you will find these pictures, and these pictures are about great explorers around the world. We have here in A, Christopher Columbus, as you can see here. We have Rod Amundsen, we have Yuri Gagarin, and we have the last one, Jack Cousteau. Okay, these are the 4 of them are great explorers around the world, and today we are going to read a short text about them. We are going to know some information about these great explorers. But before we are going to do some reading, we are going to do listening. Okay, so you will be listening to some information about these great explorers, and at the same time you are asked and required to answer short questions with 3 words maximum for each question. Okay, let's look at the questions that we have. As you can see here, question 1, okay, who was the first man to travel in space? So who was the first man to travel in space? Is it A, B, C, or T? You will need to find the answer. Question 2, where was Jack Cousteau from? So we need what? What do we need here? Let's safe. What do we need here? Where was Jack from? Okay, very good. So safe say that we need a place, and when we are talking about a place, we need a name of a country. Okay, so we need a name of a country. Where was he from? Okay. Question 3, what continent did Christopher Columbus discover? So we need a name of a continent. Okay, we need a name of a continent. Very good. Let's move to question 4. When did Roald Amundsen reach the South Pole? So as you can see here from the question, that Roald Amundsen reached the South Pole. We need when. And as we said, when we have a question started with when, that means we need what? We need a time. We need a time. So is it a year, a month, a day? We don't know. So now, as you can see here in the section, now listen to Paul's friends talking about the information they have found for their project on great explorers. Okay, and while you are listening, I want you to find the answers to these questions. So listen and try to answer these questions.
Tape script 4.2.
Hi Paul, have you got your project work with you?
Yes. Have you?
Yes.
Okay. Shall I tell you what information I've found?
Yes, please.
Okay. This is all the information I've found about Christopher Columbus so far. He was born in Italy in 1451. He discovered America in 1492. And he died in 1506.
That's a good start, Paul. Right, I've got some information about Roald Amundsen. He was born in Norway in 1872. He was the first man to reach the South Pole. He and his team arrived there in 1911. He died in 1928. What information have you got, Jill?
Okay, I've found some information about Yuri Gagarin. He He was born in Russia in 1934. He was the first man in space. He travelled around the Earth in a spaceship called Vostok 1 on the 12th of April 1961.
What about you, Tim? Did you find anything about Jacques Cousteau?
Yes, a little, Okay. He was born in France in 1910. He was a famous underwater explorer. He died in 1997.
Okay, now we need to get some more information and some pictures. Where do you think we should look?
Hi Paul, have you got your project work with you?
Yes, have you?
Yes.
Okay, shall I tell you what information I found?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
please.
Okay, this is all the information I've found about Christopher Columbus so far. He was born in Italy in 1451. He discovered America in 1492, and he died in 1506.
That's a good start, Paul. Right, I've got some information about Roald Amundsen. He was born in Norway in 1872. He was the first man to reach the South Pole. He and his team arrived there in 1911. He died in 1928. What information have you got, Jill?
Okay, I've found some information about Yuri Gagarin. He was born in Russia in 1934. He was the first man in space. He travelled around the Earth in a spaceship called Vostok 1 on the 12th of April 1961.
What about you, Tim? Did you find anything about Jacques Cousteau?
Yes, a little, Okay. He was born in France in 1910. He was a famous underwater explorer. He died in 1997.
Okay, now we need to get some more information and some pictures. Where do you think we should look?
Okay, now this was the listening for the task, and now we need to find the answers to the questions. As you listened, now we need to find the answer to question 1. Who was the first man to travel in space? Who was the first man to travel in space? Who would like to answer this question? Okay, who found the answer to this question? We will start with you, Osama. Yes, Osama, what do you think? So we have 4 people, Osama, here. We have Christopher, we have Roald, we have Yuri, and we have Jack. So what do you think? Who was the first man to travel in space? Christopher? Okay, Osama says the answer is Christopher. Who would like to give us different answers? Yes, Ibtihal, what do you think, Ibtihal? Jack. Okay, so Osama says Christopher, Ibtihal says Jack. Let's look at the correct answer and we will see. So it was Yuri Gagarin. Okay, Yuri Gagarin. He was the first man to travel in space. It's not Christopher and it's not Jack. It was Yuri. Okay, let's go to the second question. Question 2. Where was Jacques Cousteau from? From which country? And we are talking about which country. So where he was from. Okay, Shayma, what do you think, Shayma? Where was he from? Japan? Okay, Shayma says she's from Japan. Who would like to first? Okay, Abdullah, what do you think, Abdullah? Okay, Australia. Okay. So Shayma says Japan, Abdullah says Australia. Let's look at the correct answer. Where was Jack from? Okay, he was from France. As you listened, he was from France. Okay, let's move to question 3. What continent did Christopher Columbus discover? What continent? Okay, who would like to answer this one? Salma. Asia? You say Asia. Okay, Salma says the continent is Asia. Okay, we need another answer. Hisham, what do you think, Hisham? I can't hear you, Hisham. America. Hisham says the answer is America. Well, Salma says the answer is Asia. Let's look at the correct answer. It is America. Well done, Hisham. And good luck again, Salma, okay? So it is America. Let's move to question 4. When did Roald Amundsen reach the South Pole? So now we need a year, okay? We need a year. And we will take the answer from Tamim. Tamim, yes, what do you think? What year did you hear in the listening task? What year did you hear in the listening task? Yes, Tamim. 1911. Okay, Tamim says the answer is 1911. Let's look at the answer. Is it the correct one or not? Okay, it is 1911. Okay, well done, Tamim. So these are the answers to the questions about the great explorers that we have. Okay, let's move on to the next activity. Now, we are going to do some reading. Open your skills book page 38, activity 1. Your skills book page 38, activity 1. Okay, as you can see here, you will have this text. People have always wanted to explore our world and to go to places that no one has visited before. Some people explore the land, others the sea, and now people explore space as well. Okay. The short biographies below are about men who explored the land, the sea, and the space. Read these short biographies and answer the questions on page 39. So we are going to do some reading now, and then we are going to answer related questions to the reading text. If you look at your skills book, page 39 or page 38, you will find these texts, okay? And these texts about the explorers that we already listened to some information about them. Now we are going to read some information about them together. As you can see here is Roald, and here is Yuri, and here is Jack, and here is Christopher. Okay, so we're going to read these texts about them, and then we are going to answer some related questions. Before we go to the questions, let's go quickly through the text and read the text together to see what information do we have about these great explorers. Okay, let's start with Roald Amundsen. Okay, I'll start with Roald Amundsen. So Roald Amundsen was born in Norway in 1872. Okay, in 1910 he left Norway on a journey to the North Pole. Amundsen changed his mind and traveled to the South Pole instead. He was the first man to reach the South Pole. He and his team arrived there in 1911. Amundsen died in the Arctic in 1928. He disappeared while he was flying his plane. Okay, so these are the texts about Amundsen. Let's go to the next text. Yuri Gagarin. Yuri Gagarin was born in Russia in 1934. He was the first man in space. He traveled around the Earth in a spaceship. So he traveled around the Earth in a spaceship called Vostok 1 on 12th of April 1961. It took just under 2 hours to travel one round the Earth. Sadly, Gagarin was killed in 1968 when a plane he was testing crashed in Russia. He was only 34 years old. Okay, so this is the text, or these are information that we have about Yuri. Let's go to the next text. Okay, we have about Jacques Cousteau. Okay, let's read together. Jacques Cousteau was born in France in 1910. He was a great underwater explorer. In 1943, he invented the aqualung. This allowed drivers to stay underwater for many hours. Cousteau traveled the world exploring the sea in his ship, the Calypso. He died in 1997. Okay, so this is the information. These are the information that we have about Jack. Let's move on to the next question. To the next text. Sorry. So the next text is about Christopher. Okay, Christopher Columbus was born in Italy in 1451. He is probably the most famous of all explorers. He and his men discovered America in 1492. They were the first Europeans to reach America since the Vikings in about 1000. Although he was famous, he was a poor man when he died. He died in Spain in 1506. Okay, so these were the short texts that we have about the great explorers. Now let's look at the questions that we need to answer based on your readings of these texts. Okay, so in your skills book page 39, you will find these 6 questions. Okay, question 1 is already answered to you. Question 1, when was Jacques Cousteau born? It is in 1910. Okay, it's already answered to you. Now we need to find the answers from question 2 to question 6. And question 2, where was Christopher Columbus born? Okay, this is question 2. Question 3, okay, who was the first man to reach the South Pole? Question 4, who was a great underwater explorer? Okay, question 5, when did Yuri Gagarin died? So we need to find the time when he died. Okay, when did he die? Question 6, where did Roald Amundsen die? Where? So that means we are looking for a place. When? We have the question started with, that means we're looking for time. Okay, who? Okay, who? That means we are looking for name of person. Okay, we are looking for name of person. The same here we have who. We are looking for name. And now question 2, where? That means we are looking for name of place. Okay, so we are looking for name of place. Now we need to find the answers of these questions. Now let's move to question 2. Let's start with question 2. Where was Christopher Columbus born? So we need to go back to the text that talked or explained or gave us some information about Christopher Columbus. Let's look at the Christopher Columbus text, and we need to find where was born. Okay, here is the text of Christopher Columbus. As you can see, Christopher Columbus was born in Italy. Okay, he was born in Italy in 1451. Let's look, is it the correct answer? Okay, yes, it was the correct answer. It was in Italy. Now let's move to question 3. Who was the first man to reach the South Pole? So the South Pole. We need to find the South Pole. So we are going first to read about Roald Amundsen. Let's see. Do we have the South Pole here? Okay. Do we have the North Pole here? Okay. Roald Amundsen was born in Norway in 1872. In 1910, he left Norway on a journey to the North Pole. Okay. He was, as you can see, he was the first man to reach the South Pole. Okay. He was the first man to reach the South Pole. So the answer is supposed to be Roald Amundsen. Is it the correct answer? Let's check. Okay. Yes, it is the correct answer. Roald Amundsen, he was the first man to reach the South Pole. Okay, let's move to question 4. Who was a great underwater? So we need to find underwater explorer. Underwater. So we found people that who traveled on land, or people who traveled in space, and now we need to find who was the great one to explore the underwater ground. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's read the text about Yuri Gagarin. Okay, Gagarin was born in Russia, as you can see here, in 1934. He was the first man in space. Okay, you see here, it is in space. So Yuri was in space. He wasn't underwater. So that means this is not the text. Let's go and read another text. Let's read the text about Jack. Let's read the text about Jack. Okay. Jacques Cousteau was born in France in 1910. He was a great underwater, as you can see here, a great underwater explorer. So the answer is supposed to be Jack. Is it the correct answer? Let's check. Let's see, is it the correct answer? Okay, it was Jack. It was Jacques Cousteau. Okay, question 5. When did Yuri Gagarin die? When? So we need to find a year here. When did he die? We need to find a year. Let's go to the text. Go back to the text that talks about Yuri, and let's see the information that we have. Okay, here is the text about Yuri around the Earth in a spaceship called, okay, Chuck, let's go. He was only 34 years. Okay, sadly, here you can see, sadly, Gagarin was killed in 1968 when a plane he was testing crashed in Russia. So 1968. Is it the correct answer? Let's check. Let's see. Okay, in 1968, and it is the correct answer. Okay, let's move on to question 6. Where did Roald Amundsen die? Where? And as you can see here, we are looking for a place. Where did Roald Amundsen die? So that means we are supposed to go back to the text that talk about Roald Amundsen. Okay, here is the text of Roald Amundsen. Okay, we need to find where. Amundsen died in Arctic in 1928. He disappeared while he was flying his plane. Is it the correct answer? Let's check. Okay. Yes, in the Arctic. Okay, so these are the answers to these questions about the great explorers that we learned today. So today we learned and we read the text about great explorers, about we listened to some information about them, we read some information about them, and I hope that you learned and you will be able to memorize and recall and tell your friends about these explorers around the world. Okay, this is the end of our lesson for today. Until we meet again, please be safe.